Internet, Eric here. Recently in the news, it's been confirmed that actor Julian Sands had passed away. Julian Sands, for me, he's one of those actors where I haven't seen a whole lot of his films or his TV appearances, but he's one of those actors that every time he was on screen, I just loved him. I loved the way he carried himself, his acting skill and stuff like that. Um, Apparently, he had been missing since January of this year. He was off hiking in the mountains in California. I don't know if there was an. I don't know what happened, how he went missing. And recently, within like the last week or so, remains were found, and they did finally confirm that they did belong to Julian. And I wanted to just discuss. I'm going to discuss a few films slowly of Julian's because he, like I said, he was one of those actors that he always popped up, and I always really liked him. He's been in so much, and I've seen him in Leaving Las Vegas, Arachnophobia. He was great in an episode of Gotham, Stephen King's Rose Red, and of course, if you're in the horror community, he's really known for the Warlock franchise. And today I'm going to discuss the first one, Warlock, right there, Warlock. Um, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This one was filmed and completed in 1989. It was released in America in 1991. I'm saying 1989. The basic plot of this is Julian Sands is a warlock. The movie starts off in the year 1691, I believe, in Massachusetts. And Julian Sands, he's on trial for being a warlock, murder, mayhem, the usual stuff. He prays to, I believe it is the devil. He prays to the devil, and he is sent to Los Angeles, 19. In the movie, it says 1988. And he is tasked to find the 3 pages of basically you can think of as the evil form of the Bible. You know what I mean? Once he gets those 3 pages, he can put it together, read it. He gets another name of God, and as he's able to speak that name, it will undo everything that God has done. There is the man who caught him back in the 1600s. His name is Redfern. He goes back into Los Angeles. I don't remember how to stop him, and with the help of Laurie Singer, the chick from Footloose, hilarity ensues. Um, really, really enjoy the first movie, Warlock. First off, Julian Sands. I wouldn't be praising the guy already like I did earlier if he wasn't so good in this. What I like about him is he's got such a presence. He's so prim and proper and elegant. He's in a cheesy fucking horror movie about a warlock in Los Angeles, 1989, trying to destroy the world type of thing. But he brings a lot of grace, gravitas, class, smoothness. You know what I mean? Like how Billy D. Williams was so fucking smooth as Lando. Um, that's what he is. And just the way he presents himself, he's very calm and he whispers. Well, not really whisper, but he's very soft spoken, speaks proper English, that type of stuff. But he doesn't hide the fact that he's can be very, very creepy and be very, very dangerous and intimidating. Especially there's a scene where he shows up for the second page and he meets a little boy on the swing set, and he just introduces himself. He's watching the kid play a handheld football game, electronic football game. He's being nice, super creepy, trying to learn, see what he's doing, and the kid finds out, you're a witch. Where's your broomstick? That type of things. Witches don't need a broomstick to fly. Stuff like that. But then he realized, he needs a child's blood. He needs the blood of an unbaptized child to be able to fly. Then we cut away. Type of thing. Real creepy stuff like that. Just the way the way he tries to intimidate Redfern, the way he tortures Laurie Singer, he's really, really good. The man who plays Redfern, don't know who he is off the top of my head. I really like him too. He speaks in the same proper English that Julian Sands does. Pray we go this way, you go hither, I go thither. That type of stuff. But what I like about him is he's very intense, but you can also buy how worried he is. You know what I mean? You find out Redfern has lost his wife due to the actions of the warlock, and he doesn't want to eventually lose Laurie Singer. There's no romanticism involved, and I love that. They don't fall in love, none of that bullshit. But he believes, you believe the fear in this man when he thinks that the world will end type of thing. I really enjoy the final confrontation between Redfern and the Warlock, and Redfern faces his fears. Like Redfern's not a coward, you know what I mean? He's this witch hunter, but eventually his fears get the better of him because the Warlock is so close to completing his goal, and I really like that actor. The only other person of merit really is Laurie Singer, and she's not good. Okay, she's not awful, but she's not good. I don't remember how she was in Footloose, but she's not good in this, and the bad wig the bad wig doesn't help. Um, Another thing I don't like about this movie concerning Laurie Singer, trust me, I'm going to praise this, but I'm going to get the bad stuff out of the way, is at least with Laurie Singer, because the less said about her, the better. Is she is eventually cursed, hexed by the Warlock with an aging spell. She goes to sleep, or she's knocked out. The Warlock actually lands in her apartment with her roommate. They care for him. Eventually, the Warlock kills the roommate and then curses Laurie Singer to age. So every time she goes to sleep, she's going to age 20 years. Well, when she wakes up, she's supposed to be 40. She does not look 40. They added some weight on her face and they made her hair start to go gray. I'm 40. She looked worse than me. Okay? And then eventually ends up becoming 60. And again, they just made her face kind of chubby and that makeup looked off. So that's all I'm going to say about Laurie Singer. Now, this movie, it's not too gory. And I think that had a lot to do with its budget. But I think a lot of that is good because how would I say it? Since they don't have a lot of gore, they hold that to the end. You know what I mean? You finally get the gore. Like there, you find out a way to hurt the Warlock. Like these old timey myths, these old timey legends is find a footprint of the Warlock and hit a nail into it. Which I've heard stuff like that before. I've heard the story of find a tree, draw a picture of the witch on it, draw their heart, drive a nail through the heart, they die. So every time Laurie Singer was driving a nail through the ground of this footprint, Julian Sands would have nails show up in his feet. And eventually, in a really, really smart way, he finds a piece of wood and he blocks it. Well, what I'm saying is, he gets revenge on Laurie Singer by he's got her captive. And he's slowly like torturing her by putting nails into the soles of her feet to try to get Redfern to do what he wants. And when he's pulling them out, you see the little bit of red on the nail. The final defeat of the Warlock. This is where they save their gore. It isn't over the top gory. Like we also know that salt can defeat warlocks and witches. Well, eventually, salt water gets shot up into the veins of the Warlock, and it's this really good effect. We get the veins pumping out, like protruding into the face of the Warlock. I think in some of the hands, that looks really good. And eventually, the Warlock gets set on fire, and he's lifted up into the air. That's a really good looking effect. I'm pretty sure it was a stunt double and not a dummy. And if it was a dummy, they moved the hands up and down really, really well. And eventually, we just have like this melted skeleton type of thing, which looks cool. Um, Other problems that some people probably will have is due to the low budget, the CGI is awful. Uh, Julian Sands flying through the air on a green screen looks worse than like Superman. Christopher Reeve, the initial Superman. When he's got the pages of the books together and the pages fly up above his head, like a magician does. That looks bad. But one thing about Julian is when he's flying through the air looking like a fool, he still does it with so much grace. You know what I mean? When he lands, it's like he's about ready to bow, like on the stage. And that is what I like about Julian because Julian knows what he's in. He knows he's in this, I don't want to say cheesy, but it's kind of an absurd 1980s horror movie about a witch trying to come to, modern day Los Angeles. And he runs with it. He gives it that bit of class. I really, really like it. Um, Anything there like I said, there are some cool deaths. There's some off-screen deaths. I like how let's just say how the roommate is killed. The poor Mennonite guy who starts bleeding from the eyes. We get that. One scene I really like. I really like where the Warlock is trying to find out where to go, where to find the pages of this book. Because, like I said, there's 3 pages scattered around the United States. And he goes to someone who is claiming to be a fortune teller. And, it's just these shams, these fakes. And he knows right away through her act. She's trying to be a raspy voice, trying to be the devil or whoever he says to claim to be. And he knows right away you're not really him. And she says, "Oh, yes, I am," with that gravelly voice. And suddenly she changes, her voice gets deepened, she gets fangs, she gets black eyes and stuff like that. And then the devil is speaking to the warlock. And what does the warlock do to be able to find out where these pages are? He literally rips out the eyes of this fucked up fake fortune teller. Say that 3 times so fast. And uses the eyes as basically a compass. Wherever they point, that's the way he goes. That's really creative. That's disgusting. It's a really cool creative effect. So, in the end, Julian Sands and Warlock, highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, a lot of cheese, but it's a lot of fun, and it's mainly you should watch it for Julian's performance and for the man who plays Redfern. Like I said, I really like these two together. I like when we first see Julian, he's in this medieval fucking torture device that makes me cringe every time I watch it. He's got thumb screws. And then it's got another piece that connects to like your 2 big toes. Fucked up, weird, awful. But highly, highly recommend Warlock. So with that, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me what you think of Warlock. Tell me what you think of Julian Sands. I am going to eventually discuss Warlock the Armageddon, and I might throw in, for good measure, Arachnophobia. Like I said, Julian was a great loss when we found out that he, officially he had passed away. Like I say, one of those actors that always brought something to the roles he played. So I highly recommend just going out and watching any Julian Sand movie, not just a horror movie. Like I said, he's great in Leaving Las Vegas as well. Go check out the episode of Gotham where he plays the Scarecrow's father, stuff like that. So rest in peace to Julian. I'm glad his remains were identified, because now his friends and family can have some closure. But with that, like I said, like and subscribe, comment below, all that jazz. Cheers.